2026 is the year you're going to learn how to cut your own hair. And I'm going to teach you how to go from this no volume looking ass hair to a beautiful layered lion's mane cut. Girlies, I am no professional, but I've been wearing this curly sew-in since forever, so I taught myself how to add a little bit of spice. Alright, let's get into it. Throughout this entire video, I want you to remember one single thing. Sections, sections, sections. Everything you cut will be cut in sections, and you always start with the front pieces of your hair and then work your way back. Now, I don't want to see any blunt cuts. You're always going to cut diagonally. You know, like you see me do throughout this video. So the way to achieve this haircut is basically to cut the top shorter than the bottom. I always cut the front sections to about the top of my lip, and then I use the cut pieces from the section before to cut the section after. Does that make sense? The back of your hair is a little bit harder, I have to be honest. I want you to remember this. When the back of your hair looks a little bit flat, like it's losing volume, that's because it's too long, so you have to cut more from the top. To avoid any disappointment from happening, I would suggest keep the layers longer first, and then afterwards you can go back in to cut more pieces. Anyway, you see what I just did? I measured the section before, how short it was, and then based off that section, I cut the second section. Now, I know this can be quite intimidating, so I do have a YouTube video up where I show how I cut these bundles in real time, so you can always just take a look at that. Also, a small disclaimer, these are bundles, so of course it's less scary to cut them. If you're going to do this on your real hair, just proceed with caution. Okay, after a while, you should already see a major difference in the shape. Before, it was super flat, and now after, it already looks like it has a lot more volume. Now, when I like the general shape of the hair, I go back in and I cut some blunt pieces, pieces that stick out, pieces that don't look like they belong there. The nice thing about curly hair is once you style the hair, you usually don't even notice these pieces at all. Anyway, by cutting it like this, I also get to keep the length of the hair. Although I would suggest going back in and cutting these pieces straight because you do want the back to look somewhat nice. I know it's none of your business, but you do want it to look nice. Afterwards, I did ask my boyfriend to cut the longest pieces to even them out, sort of. Now, I did go back and style my hair, finger coil it, diffuse it, and then pick it with a pick comb, all of which is also on my YouTube channel, by the way. This is the end result. I love it so much, and this is literally the secret to getting this big, lush